guys and gals? Nary here from Drake Gaming, and so you know on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you into the Let's Play episode of Remember the Flowers. So y'all, before we jump into it, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Kanto takes his ponytail out and heads to the door. Let me know if you need anything, Cyrus. Sure, thanks. As Kanto exits, Karen looks at me with confusion. Since when are you two so buddy-buddy? I shrug. Give him some credit, he's not that bad. Oh, I know. He's just a bit of a dick sometimes. That's what makes him endearing. Whatever you say. She turns toward Vita. Need anything else while I'm here? Not particularly. Thank you for your help. I'll perform your next maintenance, free of charge. Sweet. See you both later, then. Gotta get back to the gym. Without even a chance to reply, she runs out of the room. I can hear Vita quietly chuckle in the corner as they prepare another pot of tea. It makes me happy to see them enjoying themselves. Another cup, Cyrus Cantwell. I'd love one. Thank you. The next couple of days are uneventful. I'm finally able to eat solid foods on my own again. Karen and Kanto checked up on me frequently and kept me company. When it's just me and Vita, I let them work on whatever project they are in the middle of instead of chatting. True to the workaholic I am, I started reviewing the reports Kanto sent me and began filling it with more of my own intel. I haven't forgotten about my meeting with Titania, and now I have some relevant information to share with her. I haven't heard from Crystal in a while, and I'm getting a little antsy waiting for a follow-up. That is until she surprises me with a visit. Ha! My, you certainly bounce back quickly. It helps that I have a skilled doctor taking care of me. I can hear Vita groan in the background. This is true. Vita has been in our care for a long time, and has in turn taken care of many victims for Mazoon. Crystal pulls up a chair to sit next to my bed. I am unfortunately a very busy woman. I have a broadcast starting in an hour I'll have to attend, so I'll cut to the chase. Do you still want to meet with Titania? I cut her off. Yes. Really now? You're not scared? I'm terrified. I'm well aware of how lucky I was, but even so, I want to help in any way I can. It's as simple as that. If only it was. Crystal takes out her axe and starts to type on the screen. Regardless, it's your choice to make. We won't force you to live your life in secrecy. That being said, are you prepared to throw yourself back into hell? With all due respect, ma'am, that's been my reality for the past few centuries. I'll be fine. Use me as the soldier I know I can be. I stare into her eyes with determination. Crystal's the first to break eye contact. She turns back to her axing to type some more before swiping the screen away. Your meeting with Titania will be in 3 days at 10 a.m. sharp. I've messaged you where our meeting will be. There you go. I look forward to it. I pull up my Axiom screen. I already have my report ready to go. Is that right? Mind giving little old me a preview? Sorry, it's a secret. You'll see. Can't blame a reporter for trying to get the scoop first. Crystal stands up from her chair. Her heels clack as she heads toward the door. I look forward to seeing the results, Cyrus. Likewise. Excuse me. She gives me a nod before she exits. Vita gets up from their desk to hand me a cup of tea. With that out of the way, you're free to leave. You think so? It's mainly for my own sanity. I'm getting tired of the constant noise. Fair enough. Can I finish this cup of tea first? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Ugh. String of hiccups. Yes, leave it on the table when you're done. Vita pats a bag at their hip. I'm heading to the guard to do some work. If you need me, don't. Hear you loud and clear. I smile at Vita. Have a good day, Cyrus Cantwell, and take care of yourself, please. I raise my cup to them. You do the same, and thank you again for taking care of me. Don't mention it. With that, Vita also takes their leave. I stare at my reflection in the tea. It's going to be an exciting next few days. My tapping foot is the only sound I can hear in the hallway. Fidgeting, I check the time. It's 9:55. Crystal will be here at any moment. It's been a while since I presented anything. This is more stressful when I spoke in front of the board for my doctorate. I didn't sleep much last night. I was both anxious and excited. I rehearsed my pitch well into the night to the point that Silver made it home before I went to bed. At 2 in the morning, I went over everything with him. I felt kind of bad since I could tell he was tired, but he insisted that I gave him a rundown. He said that it's a toss-up over whether they'll employ me or not. Too valuable of an asset. I flip on my axiom to go over all my notes again. My concentration breaks upon hearing a pair of heels clicking down the hall. I take a deep breath before straightening up. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, Cyrus. How are you feeling? Ready. That's what I like to hear in the morning. Crystal extends the briefcase that she's carrying. Do you mind holding on to this for a moment? I have to punch in the numbers. Oh, sure, no problem. I take it before moving out of the way of the elevator. She keys in the numbers for an extended period of time. When I think she's done, she swipes a card next to the number pad. Then she scans her eye. Something dings, and then Crystal holds her paw out. Thank you for waiting. We're going to be the lowest part of the base. We're going to go to the lowest part of the base. You'll need to accompany me the whole way in and out. Classified information and all that jazz. With both hands, I hold out a briefcase. Glad to say I'm no longer I'm no stranger to that. Crystal takes the briefcase with her right paw. I figured as much. The elevator door opens. Crystal directs me inside. After you, guest of honor. I can't tell if she's teasing me or being serious. Regardless, I walk with confidence into the elevator. Ugh. Once inside, Crystal punches in another set of numbers into the screen. The door is slowly shut, and then we begin our descent. We're already pretty far underground, so I can't imagine it will take long to get there. Say, Crystal, can I ask you something? What is it? Did Titania build underground herself? Crystal raises a brow before smiling. Curious, are you? Kind of. It's funny, I've heard Titania's name thrown around a lot since I relocated down here, but I know next to nothing about her. Second now. Well, let me readjust. Okay. That's the way she wanted it. Even Vita's left the base more than she has. For a moment, Crystal's smile wavers. She's taken the necessary precautions to make sure that she and her organization never fall into the wrong hands. It might seem like we've made little progress over the past 100 years on the outside, but that's the price we pay for secrecy. To answer your question, she inherited the resistance from her father, but she helped make it into what it is today. She's been fighting a silent battle for as long as I can remember. That's part of the reason why I was so drawn to her. Crystal clutches her right hand. And she won't stop fighting until she can change this world. I want to make sure she can achieve that. You on TV and her in the shadows? You got it. And let me just say, it is very interesting to see Resume's PR scramble whenever a controversy hits. They sweep it under the rug every time, but the cracks are already starting to show. Crystal snaps and then points at me. You being here is crystal clear proof of that. With enough pushback, Resume could crumble very, very soon. Darius deserves nothing less, but I've been thinking. About? What happens once we win? Resume is a horrible organization, but even I can't deny that they've done a lot of good for people. Lots of people will lose access to healthcare and essential treatment. Don't you worry about that. We're already taking steps to prevent a total collapse. While the transition will be rough, and there's no guarantee that our plans will work, we're going to divert the funds from the Resistance into a new public healthcare system. Damn, thought of everything, have you? We've had a lot of time to prepare, Cyrus. Ding. We're here. I cracked my knuckles before slapping my face a couple times to psych myself up. Phew! Alright, let's do this. I like that initiative. You're gonna do just fine. Alright, let's meet Titania. The doors open to reveal a narrow hallway. There's a giant door at the end of it, similar to bank vaults. Precautions indeed. Crystal heads over to yet another panel to open a door for me. My artificial heart beats a little faster. I'm prepared. I know I am. Even so, I've heard so much about the fabled leader of the Resistance. I have to give her the respect that she deserves. A loud click echoes in the hall. The door has been unlocked. A gulp as I force my heart to calm down. Crystal slowly pulls the giant metal barrier open. Behind it is a much smaller door. It's ornate and looks like it's made of wood with a shiny golden handle. Phew! That never gets any easier. The pink fox checks to make sure she didn't break a nail before presenting the door to me. Well, chop chop, she's expecting you. Yes, ma'am. I quickly walk up to her and then grab the doorknob. Let's do this. I close my eyes as I open the door. Alright. Who's it gonna be? The first thing I experience is how nice it smells. Opening my eyes, I'm met with an oddly familiar sight. Titania's office is very reminiscent of fancy rooms back in my time. It's like the study of someone rich and powerful, which is fitting, I guess. The plants strewn about definitely make it look more comfortable to stay in. Ah, there you are. The sound of papers stacking catches me by surprise. What I assume to be Titania is filing papers in an old-school filing cabinet. She has her back towards us. Crystal walks past me to greet her. Hun, I know you're still not fiddling with those reports again. I just know there's something missing here that could help us turn the tide, and I'm close to a breakthrough, I know it. You'll be happy to hear what Cyrus has brought to the table, Titania. Titania turns around to meet my gaze. Let's meet her. Who is it? Ooh, fancy. Oh shit, another human. Kind of expected it, honestly. She looks tired, but determined. Do forgive me, I lost track of time. Titania smiles at me before setting her papers down. Both she and Crystal make their way toward the big wooden desk in the center of the room. I stare at her as she moves. So, this is Titania, huh? Come have a seat. We have much to talk about. I couldn't agree more. With vigor, I walk to take a seat in front of Titania. Sitting up straight, I look her directly in the eye. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to meet you. Likewise, it's nice to finally meet you in person, Cyrus. I've heard so much about you. Not too much, I hope. I am a pretty private person, after all. Oh, no, not you as in you. Sorry, I misspoke. Aaron let me know a little about your role as leader is all. Is that so? Finally, being face-to-face with the Resistance leader already has me nervous. Titania chuckles and waves her hand at me. Come now, no need to be serious. Think of this like you would any other job interview. Oh, but I am, considering the last job I had was working for a current... No, resume. I take anything I sign up for very seriously. Fair enough. You seem in pretty high spirits considering your latest encounter. You take hardships with great strides. Oh, thank you, ma'am. But let's get down to business, shall we? She holds out a hand. Crystal promptly hands her papers that she then begins to look over. I've been told you want to join the front lines. Besides passing our military courses, I have no objections to this. However, is this something you're truly interested in, despite knowing the dangers that lay ahead? Absolutely. It's the only way I'm going to have a chance to break into the Resume and finally take down Darius once and for all. Titania gauges my emotions. Am I being too forward? Too rash? Very straight to the point. It's a sentiment we all share, isn't it? Considering what you've been through all these years, and I'm honestly in disbelief that you have that kind of motivation. I see some real fire in your eyes. Titania flips through a few pages. According to my intel, you used to work directly under Darius centuries ago. What can you tell me about him? I cross my legs. Where did you get this intel? Who do you think? Yours truly, of course. Should I assume you have access to Resume's records? In bits and pieces. Why do you ask? I take out my axiom. Well, it might be on subjective experiences. I haven't forgotten my time in Resume. It's burned in my mind at this point. Throughout the past few days, I've been logging anything I could remember about how things operated. Not to doubt the validity of your claims, but how can we be sure your information is still relevant? It's been hundreds of years since you worked there. You asked me about Darius, right? The first thing I'll tell you is that he's a perfectionist. He will never admit that he's in the wrong. He's stubborn like that. I seriously doubt he would change his way of operations just because of me. I send my report over to Crystal, including all the experiences I've amassed over the past few centuries. It didn't take long to find out what kind of person he is. He's selfish, arrogant, and dangerous. If he thinks he's in the right, he'll stop at nothing to complete his goals. Crystal's axiom beeps. She looks at Titania. Titania nods. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to go over all this information. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. It's tired. I'm going to chill out for a bit before bed. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Thank you to all of our lovely patrons. I'm heading to bed. I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!